Hey Cougars, welcome back. So today we're working on day 3 of our maze coding challenge, and we're focusing specifically on broadcasting and receiving messages. So in order to do challenge 1 for day 3, we are going to create a new project and we're going to name it When Clicked and share it. We're going to create 3 backgrounds, one called Start, one called How to Play, and one called Level 1. We're going to create 2 sprites, one of them named How to Play and one named Start. And we're going to program a title sequence using when clicked type codes. And then in order to turn this in, guys, you're going to send me a screenshot of this activity on this worksheet, and you're going to paste the link of it into the chat on Google Classroom. So let's jump into Scratch, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to hit Create. I am going to title my activity When Clicked. And I am going to, all right now, having typing trouble. 4 times the charm. Let's see. When clicked, and then I'm going to go ahead and share it. It's going to pop me out to my shared screen. I'll go back into See Inside, and we're ready to roll. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get rid of our cat. We don't need it for this activity. I'm going to come over to our backdrops, hover over top of the Choose a Backdrops icon, and select the paintbrush. This is going to let me draw different backdrops. The first one, I am going to name it Start. The second backdrop, I'm going to name it How to Play. And then down here on our icon, come up to paintbrush to make me a third one. And the third one, I'm going to name it Level 1. So I now want to take a second and go ahead and type some text on these so that as they're changing, I can see it. So I'm going to label that one Level 1, this one How to Play, and we're going to just add a rectangle here with our title screen and put some text on it. You'll notice that the text looks invisible, and that's because it's the same color as the background. And now I can grab my select tool because I'm working as a vector and add title screen, and you see in my game now it appears nice and big. All right, so we have our 3 backgrounds: title screen, How to Play, and Level 1. We're now going to come down and make some sprites. So I'm going to go to the Choose a Sprite icon and come up to the paintbrush. I'm going to take a rectangle and draw it out, and let's just make that purple. I dropped it again a little stubborn. Okay. Somewhere around in there. All right, and for this one, we want to name it Start. And let's make that text white. And of course, bigger. I'm going to shrink down my box here. I'm also going to grab it, and you'll notice that it has a plus sign in the middle. I'm going to put the plus sign on the center of the sprite and do the same with my text so that it's all nice and centered. Quick and easy, I'm going to right click here and click duplicate. And I'm going to make this say How to Play. Use my select tool to make my rectangle much bigger. And use my select tool to make my text much smaller. Once again, I'm going to center my text and center my rectangle. And I've now got my buttons. Okay, so when I go to the backdrop called Title Screen, I now have a button that says Start and a button that says How to Play. And I have title screen actually on the screen itself. It's not a sprite. I think these are a little bit big, so let's go ahead and change them down to 50%. This one to 50%. And I want to make sure that I have named my, my sprites here. So for my Start sprite, I'm going to name it Start. And for my How to Play sprite, I'm going to name it How to Play. And this will just help prevent it from getting confusing as we continue on our coding. All right, I'm going to move these around to where I like them. I like that. That looks pretty good to me. So let's start coding. So I'm going to start by going to my backdrop and open code. And when we click the green flag, I want it to start on the title screen. So I'm going to go to my events and I'm going to say when the green flag is clicked, I'm going to change the looks, switch the backdrop to start. That's the one we named the title screen. Okay? So now, no matter where this is, when we hit this green flag, our background is going to switch to the one with the title screen on it. And we can test this quickly. We can go over to a different one, hit the green flag, and we're back on our title screen. The next thing we want to code is our start button. And we want our, actually, you know what, let's skip that. Let's do our how to play button next. Let's do our how to play button next, yeah. So when we click on the how to play, I just noticed that I don't like that. There's a capital there. Let's fix that. When we click on the how to play button, we want it to go to the how to play screen. So I've selected my sprite that says how to play. I'm going to open the code. And this time, I'm not going to choose when the green flag is clicked. I could, and it would work, but I'm not going to because I want to focus on the changing of the screens. So I'm going to say when the backdrop switches to start, I want my how to play button to appear in this location. So for motion, take a look here at this code that says go to XY. As I move this button around, it automatically changes the X and Y value for me. So if this is where I want it, it has set my X and Y value. I can just simply drag that in. And I want to be able to see it, so I'm going to click a show. So when I click the green flag, it's going to send the backdrop to the start screen. When the backdrop switches to the start screen, my how to play is going to go to this location, my show, and it's going to show. We want something similar with the start. When the backdrop switches to the start screen, remember it's automatically set our XY for us. So we want to go to this XY value and show. Okay, and this gets us where no matter what background we're on and no matter where our buttons are, when we hit this green flag, it takes us to the title screen and it lines everything up nice and neat for us. Let's now give our buttons an action. So I'm going to click on the how to play button so that I can do my coding inside of this sprite and go to code. When I click the how to play sprite, I want to go to the how to play screen. I also need the title screen to go away so we don't see this, and I need the start button to go away so we don't see this. So again, I'm clicking on the how to play. I am going to choose the code that says when this sprite is clicked. And the way we know it's this sprite is because I selected it. When this sprite is clicked, we're going to change under looks, we're going to switch the backdrop, change the backdrop to how to play. And we don't actually want the how to play button on the how to play screen, so we're going to hide it. We now need to tell the other sprite what to do. So we're going to say for our start sprite, when the backdrop switches to how to play, we still need that start button because we need the player to be able to click on how to play and then go into the game. But I don't want it here in the middle. I want it maybe down here in the corner out of the way. So remember, by moving it, it set my X and Y value, and I just want it to move there. So let's test this now. I'm starting here. When I click how to play, I go to the how to play screen, everything disappears, and I still have my start button. When I hit title, or when I hit the green flag, it takes me back to my title screen. Good. So far, so good. Now we need to program our start button to take us to level 1. So under events, I'm going to say when this sprite is clicked, I want the looks to switch the backdrop to level 1. And I then want that sprite to hide because I don't want to see the start button on level 1. For the how to play, when the backdrop switches to level 1, we want that how to play button to disappear. So we're just going to tell it to hide. So now when we hit our green button, it starts us off. If we hit start, it takes us to level 1. Whoops, we got to get rid of that how to play. Let's go back into our how to play. Oh, here's what we did. So when I drug it out, I said when the backdrop switches to how to play. Actually, I need one. This one should say when it switches to level 1. Because remember, clicking on the start takes us to level 1. So let's try again now. Clicking start takes us to level 1. Everything goes away. Clicking how to play takes us to the how to play screen. And clicking start takes us to level 1. So guys, with this program, you have now written the code for your when clicked game. Be sure that it's shared and follow the instructions in day 3, broadcast and receiving messages, in order to submit that work.